What's up, motherfoxers? Welcome back, guys. We are done with the truck. There she is. Been running good for a week now. Nothing's leaking. No engine lights or alerts or anything. It's been running fine, so she's done. I did fix some rust up on above the windshield up there. Yeah, it was scaling and there was a hole. Body filler and paint over rust. But what I did do is I did take some evapor rust to it before I painted it. So, but this is a video about what I think about Ace's EFI, my experience with it, and when I buy it again. And just so you know, they're not paying me to say anything. This is all me. This is all my opinion. But I'm gonna go over to the car and I'm gonna show you something. Something that could have been disastrous, but thankfully because of Ace's, it didn't become a disaster. So if you see this right here, this is body film they put on at body shops. We got a leak. The leak I had was right here and back here. This door was not even, so we lifted it, took care of this. It was wet in here. I found it to be wet inside here. And first of all, I saw water down here, and of course then I felt back here when I was looking for some screws, and that's when I saw that up in there. But if you look down here, guys, I had this thing sitting up in here like that, and when I discovered the water, I'm like, ooh. So I pull this out. This whole thing was wet. The whole thing was wet. So I unplugged it, put it in the sun. It is black. It's gonna get a bunch of heat on it. And then after that, I took it, unplugged it, and I threw it in the seat here for a week. And then I went and I wasn't too worried about it because I figured it was potted, you know, because this is something that they're gonna have out in the weather, mounted up on your firewall or something like that. And then so I wasn't too worried about it. Plugged it back in a week later. Car started right up. So kudos to Ace's on that one. So yeah, those are made for wet, you know, being the weather. Like I said, they're supposed to be mounted inside the hood or in your car. It didn't matter, but we will fix this. We figured out it's up in the seam up there. And we'll have to pull the fender off and seam seal it, because where the seam sealer was in that spot where it's leaking, it just failed. It just failed. It's old. So, but we'll make sure that doesn't leak before we go tucking this away again. So, not that it's going to hurt it any. But yeah, then I let this car sit. What, those 4 weeks we had we're fixing the truck. I came out here 2 days ago. Car started right up. So Ace's is good, man. There's nothing wrong with Holley. The problem I have with Holley is they attach their ECUs to their throttle bodies. I'm not in on that. Heat is an enemy of any kind of computer, and it shouldn't be attached to it. I guess if you buy their more expensive version of the Sniper, I guess it does come separated. I'm not sure about that. I think somebody told me that, but I don't know. In the end, I can't justify the price of what they charge. It's just not worth it. Because if you're going to get their Sniper, then you want the dual sync distributor, because that thing is just cool, man. What can I tell you? It's just cool. But Ace's has a little bit more of a dumbed down version of that that's cheaper and works great. You gotta lock out the distributor when you buy it, and then you put it in there, set it to 15 degrees, and then just unlock it and let the computer take the timing control on it. It's that simple. It works. It's inexpensive. You get so much for what you pay for. And I believe, and they got more expensive version. Killshot is just an entry level to them. Then there's the Royal Flush, which is even more features, and it's the same throttle body but with more horsepower. They have multi-port injection there. they're just more cost effective. Not only that, I was talking to a guy at a show, come to find out, the owner of Aces used to work for Phytech. Phytech attaches their ECUs to the unit. I heard good and bad about that too. Then there's the Bandit by Jegs, separated. Summits looks exactly like Fast EFI. I think they make them for them, and those are cheap. They all work great, man. But if you want to get best bang for your buck, Aces does it because it works. Now it needs tweaking. I think I'm very just going to maybe have somebody tune it in the spring. I'm not too worried about it right now. To make it, you know, because it's not perfect. But if you take that car on a cruise, it's flawless. It really is. It's flawless. But when you hit the gas and get on it, let's just say it needs help. So I think, I don't know, I haven't really been looking into it and how to tune it and whatnot, guys. That stuff's kind of, it's a bit Greek to me right now. So you can only do so much on the handheld as well, but you can download the software to your laptop and you just open up a whole bunch of avenues to tune it, really fine tune it. Just like the Holley Sniper or Terminator X, you can do the same thing on these on the computer. But like I said, it needs help. Maybe if money permits in the spring, I can have somebody look to tune it up. And I'm pretty sure it only needs a couple of things, but for something that you can put on your car right out of the box and go with, it works pretty good. And that's just a cruise, not to performance or anything, because it needs to be tuned. Way better than Terminator X. Terminator X, you buy that. I got one, so on my other car, and you can't really drive that car when you first put that on. It's got to be tuned. You should take it to somebody and tune it, unless you know how. But as far as Sniper or any of that stuff, you can pretty much slap those on there and they're gonna work. I've talked to people, like I said, who have put them on there and they're just great. They say they work fantastic. And there's other people, nah, I had to have it tuned, So it's kind of weird, and it's the same no matter which one you look at. That scenario plays out. Some people put them on, they have no problem with them. Some people put them on, like me, I put it on, yeah, it cruises good, but it needs to be tweaked. And then you got people who it just doesn't work for them at all. But then you got to look into the way they set it up. Did they set it up properly? That's the other thing you got to look to. So, but yeah, man, Aces, the best bang for the buck out there is Aces, man. It just works. And if you got any questions and you need to call them, the longest I've waited on hold is 10 minutes. That's it. And you basically get on there, and their protocol is they got a person who can answer easy questions. If it gets into a kind of a tech range, then they put you in touch with a tech. So, but other than that, man, it's a good all-around system. You don't have to pay for extras. If you buy the package, you get the distributor, you get their coil. Comes with a built-in 3-bar map sensor. All this stuff you gotta buy separate from Holley, and it's expensive. It's just, I cannot justify people spending that much money anymore on just a name. It's like, dude, you got all this competition around you. The only people that are paying for you are people with deep pockets, and they want to buy that Holley name and have Holley on their vehicle. Screw that, man. I'm not about that. So, like I said, Holley's good. There's nothing wrong with it. They're just too damn expensive. So, Aces works, man. Thanks for watching, guys. Later.